Hey you, I'm so glad you're here today. I'm Jenny Prachko from owls&indigo, and I make videos about secular spirituality, writing and journaling prompts, little tidbits about the moon and how to move through the lunar phases with your goal setting, mental health and awareness, and my story. If you've been here for a while, you might be wondering where some moon bullet journal videos are. They are missing. And that's because this year for the 13th moon, I decided to do an entire month of resting, reflecting, and planning for the upcoming year. So that's what I've been doing this 13th moon. So it turns out that I accomplished a lot this year. I was really surprised when I did a review and looked back to see what I got done and what got left behind. I accomplished 15 out of 31 personal goals, 20 out of 27 goals for Owls and Indigo. And then my spiritual goals, I kind of just abandoned the process that I had set up for the new year in January this past year. And I just think that I got too in-depth too quick and I just wasn't ready for it. So I pivoted my goal setting practice for my spirituality into an entirely different system that I've been sharing with you this entire year. So for my spiritual goals this year, I ended up creating a list of things that I wanted to accomplish, but I didn't make them very specific. And at the beginning of every new moon, I set goals that corresponded to those overarching goals for the entire year. And that actually helped me accomplish a lot. It was an interesting way to look at achieving those goals that I had set for myself at the beginning of the year after I had abandoned the process, pivoted, and restarted. And you'll see me go through each of the new moon beginning spreads and star all of the things that I accomplished. And I was really excited to see that. I had no idea how many goals I had accomplished or if I had accomplished any at all. And I really felt proud of myself, and it helped my mental health too when I realized that. And it made me feel a lot better about myself, and it gave me just like a little pick-me-up to realize that I actually got a lot more done than I thought I could do in the first place and that I thought I did at all. Throughout this video, you're going to see 3 different pieces of paper, and these are all of my notes that I'm transferring into my next bullet journal for 2020. I have my personal goals here that I want to continue on into the next year. I have my new moon's beginning goals review with a tally of all of the things that I accomplished. Turns out that I accomplished 15 spirituality goals that corresponded back to my overarching spirituality goals for the year. And that was such an amazing thing to realize and such an amazing gift to give myself. I've definitely made a lot of progress when it comes to my spiritual practice this year, and also my mental health. And my mental health actually goes hand in hand with my spirituality practices. And the last piece is my lunar leftovers. These are all of the things that I didn't get to this year or didn't accomplish completely that I want to continue on into the next year. And I also have some things that I want to just continue to do and continue to work on and level up in the next year as well. So let's go ahead and get into this year's review of my goals for my spiritual practices and for my personal progress. I'm starting off this yearly review by creating my lunar leftovers for 2019. And now I'm just dressing up the page a little bit with some of my stamps. The moon stamp is actually a DIY stamp that I did myself, and I have a video on that I'll leave linked up above and down below. And I've also incorporated stamp markers this year, which you can see me using here. These make the process of bullet journaling a lot faster and a lot more creative and fun. So let's go ahead and get into my bullet journal. At the beginning of every year, I write myself 2 letters. That is the promise and then the vision. The promise is a note to myself on the things that I'm going to accomplish by that time next year. The vision is actually a 5-year outlook. This is what I think my life is going to be like in 5 years and the things that I think I will have accomplished at the end of 5 years. And it turns out this year, I actually marked off one of the things from my 5-year vision. Now I'm marking off any of the things that I want to migrate over into the next year and the things that I accomplished, I'm crossing off the things that I didn't get done, that I'm not going to be migrating over. Every once in a while you're going to see a little squiggle line. The squiggle line for me in my bullet journal key is something that I have sort of done or that is on the way to being completed. And now I'm writing down the personal items that I want to transfer over into next year's bullet journal for my goal setting practice. I'm going to be explaining what this spread is in one of my upcoming videos. As you can see, I have a yearly overview for my personal goals. This spread contains the goals, the priorities, the habits, and the skills that I want to build to accomplish and support these overarching goals for the entire year. And I'll get deeper into that in a video coming up really soon. And now I'm doing the same thing for Owls and Indigo. I'm marking off all of the things that I accomplished, crossing off the things that I didn't accomplish and won't be transferring over, and then using a little arrow to indicate that I'm going to be migrating that over into the next year. Now I'm just flipping back to my personal overview and using a fun little stamp marker to star the things that I finished. At the beginning of the year, I hadn't started calling this my New Moon's Beginning spread yet, but that's exactly what this is. Now I'm just starting all the things that I ended up accomplishing and the things that stuck all the way to the end of the year. I feel incredibly grateful to myself for being able to accomplish these things when I really didn't think that I could. Now I flip back to a spread that had my spiritual goals listed on one of the foldouts, and I'm writing down the things that I want to transfer over into the next year on this lunar leftovers. And now I have all the goals that I'm going to be transferring over into the next year and the goals that I'm still going to be working on and leveling up. Now I'm ready to start planning my goals for the new year. In my next video, I'm going to be sharing a journal review of this entire year. At the end of every lunar month, I always ask myself the same questions. And for this year, I wanted to make sure that I asked myself those same questions at the end of the year. What worked, what didn't, and what to improve. What I learned this year, how I challenged myself this year, what is a time saver and what isn't, and then also what am I most grateful for. I'm really looking forward to journaling with you in my next video, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that one. And I can't wait to see what your answers are to those questions as well. I'm so grateful that you chose to spend your time here with me today. You can find me on Instagram at owls&indigo, that's where I am most, or over on my website, owls&indigo.com, where I share weekly spirituality tips, little journaling and writing prompts, tidbits about the moon and how to move through the lunar phases with your goal setting practice, bullet journal videos, mental health and awareness, and my story. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!